This is coming to you from John Wayne's 26 Bar Ranch in Eager, Arizona. After a final briefing by the check pilot, he climbs aboard and we're ready for engine start. We have a final check of the cockpit. Make sure everything is where it's supposed to be for startup. Then we hit the starter switch for engine 1 and it starts to spool up. And engine 1 lights up. Then we hit the starter switch for engine 2 and it starts to spool up. After checking all of the instruments, we call the tower and tell them we're ready to taxi. After getting clearance from the tower for takeoff, we line up and give it 100% power, and we're on the roll. After reaching 100 knots, we gently pull back on the stick, and we are airborne. Gear coming up, flaps coming up. We make a turn to the right. And do a high-speed pass, and then turn and go to the practice area. After doing a series of maneuvers to the right and to the left, we bring the nose up and go into a roll to the left, keeping the nose of the aircraft on the horizon. Then we make another turn to the right and head back to the airport and the runway to do a series of touch and goes. After making sure that the gear and flaps are down, we make our approach for our first touch and go. And it is a grease job. We reset the flaps, add 100% power, when we're on the roll again. Pull back on the stick, and we are airborne again. Gear coming up, flaps coming up. And we line up on the runway again for our second touch and go. And it's another grease job. Bring the flaps back up, add power, and off we go again. 100 knots, pull back on the stick, and we are airborne again. This time we have to do a one-wheel landing. This is in case we have problems with the landing gear and have to land on only one gear. We pull off of the runway and get behind the Follow Me car and head back to the parking area. We pull in to the parking area and come to a full stop. Then we crank down both engines and start to open the canopies and get ready to get out of the aircraft. After checking all of the instruments to make sure everything is off, we have a briefing by the check pilot, and he steps back to let me dismount from the aircraft.
Worked the devil out of me this time.
After checking all the instruments, pulling off the parachute straps, putting my hat on, it's time to dismount.
Sounds like it. Uh-oh. It's hell to get old. You'll get there.
As I start my dismount, the check pilot comes forward to make sure that I don't fall on my hind end as I get out of the airplane. This was a great flight and an easy flight. I've only been doing this for 65 years. This was brought to you from John Wayne's 26 Bar Ranch in Eager, Arizona.